I know I've been gone for a long time, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna expose this whole boxing thing real quick. And now we're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff right here. But first let's talk about this. We got Jorge Cambosos. Jorge Cambosos Jr. And he fought who the hell did he fight? Motherfucking Teofimo Lopez. All right, Jorge Cambosos Jr. fought Teofimo Lopez, and he busted bro up. I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on this real quick. When it comes down to Cambosos, like I knew from the beginning, I ain't follow Cambosos or know him like that, but I knew from the beginning that George Cambosos had skill because they were comparing him to Manny Pacquiao. They said Manny Pacquiao sparred with him. And so I knew that by sparring with Manny Pacquiao, Jorge Cambosos had some really good reflexes. So let's give Cambosos some credit just for just having skill, stamina, and having fast hands. Also he's a real warrior. He's been in boxing for a long time. He's undefeated. That's a pretty interesting stat if you want to just take a look at it. Kambosos is an undefeated fighter, so I don't know who in their right mind would underestimate him. He's not like those other Europeans either. He's Greek and Australian. So, but he said and he promised in a way he was gonna fight Devin Haney. There's some reports coming out saying that, he doesn't, that he's trying to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. It could be Boots Ennis or Haney. But to be honest, he hasn't. From other reports that I'm hearing, he hasn't said that he's focusing just on Gervonta Davis. Jorge Cambosos is he might fight Devin Haney still. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him fight Devin Haney. George Kambosos, if he fights Devin Haney, I will give him all of the respect in the world. Haney has been one of the most ducked fighters in boxing, and it is just not fair. Even how his own WBC entity is treating Devin Haney, making statements on their social media saying Kambosos is the new undisputed champ of the world, completely ignoring and dismissing Devin the Dream Haney. And I just think that's inappropriate. I don't respect Maurice Suleimani or whoever, him and his pops that created the WBC. They did a whole bunch of bogus stuff, especially when it comes to Wilder. Just they've been bogus this whole time. They kind of weird with it. You feel me? They shouldn't discredit they shouldn't discredit Haney and just kind of minimize his accomplishments and what he's doing. Devin Haney, I don't want to see him fight Davis. Who the hell is pushing for Devin Haney and Davis? Obviously, it's going to be a good fight, but hasn't Haney been ducked enough? And who's putting out these new distractions? Why can't we just have a straight up, real, undisputed fight? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, PGH, BIG dog. Salute back to you. You a real one. Yeah, the WBC is kind of racist, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I'm glad you called it for how it is and what it is and keeping that shit 100. Um, but yeah, I'm really expressing myself and how I feel about boxing because I love boxing. I watch boxing and I really get into it. I do a lot of shadow boxing. In a way, I wish when I was young that I got the opportunity to box. I always wanted to push things to the limits. Maybe I'm not too old, but I'm already pushing close to 30, you feel me? Um, but regardless of that, my point is Devin Haney is the not only the boogeyman, it's like I don't want to compare it to Wilder, but it's almost like a Wilder like situation where you have the boxing establishment being a part of the discrediting of the fighter. And that's what I'm alluding to here. Ooh, whole bunch of Scoobies. Oh yeah. Excuse me, y'all. Hey baby, you there get some water? Por favor. Hey, so now let's continue talking about this. I looked up Deontay Wilder today. Shout out to Bomb Squad. I'm still gonna tell y'all like it is. Tyson Fury cheated in the first, second, and third fight, and there's no way you can excuse that. A cheater is a cheater. Tyson Fury is a cheater. Canelo Alvarez is a cheater. Anyone who takes PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, is a cheater, and their victories don't count. So say what you want, it just don't count. And I'm being 100 about that, and it's coming out of my mouth. Okay, and so I'm still repping Bomb Squad and Deontay Wilder. Deontay the man, he's the people's champ. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my fans, shout out to everybody that subscribed to me, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with y'all because y'all fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna grow and we gonna grow together. I'm not giving up on this boxing stuff and because this is what I like to do. This is what I do right here, you feel me? Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford really is the pound for pound. The way he fought Sean Porter, it kind of like reminded me of like a Ugas situation with Pacquiao. But I didn't know Crawford like that until he had that Sean Porter fight, and I think he really proved with that fight that he is a pound for pound. There's so many great fighters in this lightweight division, the 130, 135, 140, 145. It's almost like oversaturated. But nonetheless, I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty, especially with a fighter like Kambosos, knocking down and damn near knocking out Teofimo Lopez. He got a taste of his own medicine. I really do feel like Lopez's pops he was really annoying, but also a big part of the reason why Teofimo Lopez lost that fight. And I'm hearing a lot about Vasil Lomachenko's shoulder in that fight. And now that I think about it, a few months ago, I sustained I sustained a shoulder injury at my job. Excuse me, y'all. And it didn't heal for a few months. And it was a long process for my shoulder to heal. Anybody that knows about like joints and like those rotation points like your knees, your ears, just joints, there's cartilage in there. Cartilage is one of those things that doesn't repair itself, so it took such a long time for my body just to heal my shoulder. So if Vasily Lomachenko really had shoulder surgery right after the fight and was going through a lot of pain during the fight, I see why Teofimo probably got the edge on him. A shoulder injury ain't no joke. And like I said, I shadow box a lot. I couldn't even shadow box the way I wanted to with that injury that I sustained on my shoulder. Oscar Valdez, I don't even know the man like that, but like Oscar Valdez, man, get off the motherfucking PEDs, bro. Get off them PEDs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't hurt nobody in the ring, but you got whooped even on PEDs. Just get off it, be a real fighter, you know what I'm saying? I ain't here to disrespect you no more, but don't be cheating no more. It's as simple as that. I ain't never gonna forgive no Tyson Fury for the type of cheating he did. You know, I know, Wilder knows, and God knows most importantly, Um, but I think Deontay Wilder's coming back. He's gonna fight Andy Ruiz. I believe that's in the works. And I would love to see that fight just as long as it's fair and square. Andy Ruiz isn't a cheater. Andy Ruiz was the first, I believe, the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world when he defeated Anthony Joshua via knockout. So I give Andy Ruiz credit, even though he lost the rematch. I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight Andy Ruiz. That'd be a great fight. Either one of those guys would put on a good fight. I want to see Errol Spence come back into the ring, get his fight. I want to get more into Jerron Boots Ennis because I'm just hearing so much about him. We know about Shakur Stevenson. He's doing his thing. He's an elite fighter. That's what I was getting to when I said the 130, 135, 140, 145. There are so many top level fighters that are also undefeated. A lot of them hold belts, and a lot of them are rising the ranks quickly. So, with all that being said, we got a lot of good fights coming this way. Deontay Wilder's career is not over. I can't wait to see what's next for him. Let's keep getting this money. Gervonta Davis has his fight. I think it's this weekend. Haney is fighting Jojo Diaz this weekend. Gervonta Davis is fighting Isaac Pitbull Cruz, the dude from Mexico, who they say is like the Mexican Mike Tyson. I'm seeing some of his workouts, and the dude's got some real good muscle. He's got some stamina. He's ferocious, and he does have boxing IQ. He's not just a wild like swinger. He swings with bad intentions. But Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he's not a bad boxer. I believe he's undefeated. That's going to be a really good fight this weekend. Gervonta Tank Davis, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. But they was trying to put Haney against Davis. I don't want to see Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. I want to see Devin Haney go to Australia and fight Jorge Cambosos Jr. And I want to see a real undisputed champ. And I think Devin and Dream Haney deserves that. And I hope he gets that. I heard on YouTube today that Tyson Fury is going to be fighting Alexander Usyk. You know, I'm not really too interested in Tyson Fury to be 100 with y'all, but I'm gonna still keep up with him to see if he keeps on cheating. You know what I'm saying? I just want to monitor his ass. You feel me? Because this shit's crazy. You know how they just conspired together. Even the commissioners in the Wilder fights allowed this cheating to take place. Um, so yeah, if he fights Alexander Usyk, I'm very curious to see what goes on. Obviously, Usyk's a lot smaller. Obviously, Usyk doesn't see. I believe Usyk's not a cheater. I could be wrong. I don't know the man, but just from my small knowledge of him, I don't think he's the type to be a cheater. I think he was in the Olympics or something like that. Like he was just a naturally gifted person. He's really talented. I like Alexander Usyk. Um, I really do. I think he has. I think he can beat Tyson Fury. In fact, I hope he beats Tyson Fury, even if Tyson's juiced up. Tyson might not even cheat or juice up because he only felt the need to do that. Well, he did it quite a bit in his career, but he mainly felt the need to juice up and cheat against Wilder. But I believe he could just let the cheating go against Usyk because he probably believes he could take off the smaller Usyk anyways. Um, Now what else is going on in boxing right now that I had my mind on? Canelo was trying to fight Makabu. It's just garbage as hell. But I think that shit got canceled. Um, what the fuck is next, man? Can y'all tell me something? If y'all know what's next, let me know. I mean, what's really popping in boxing right now? Like, let me just get back to the subject, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I remember that Caleb Plant fight with Canelo Alvarez. Because right now we just doing boxing. We talking boxing right now. And Canelo Alvarez, he beat Plant fair and square. Caleb Plant did a great job. He was so slick with his defenses. You know, even though Canelo Alvarez is still a cheater, he didn't cheat against Caleb Plant in that fight. So I'll let it slide, but I'll never let a cheater slide, especially when the establishments, the commissions, and all of that don't do nothing about it. I can't rock with that because people die in the ring. I think our last month didn't somebody die in the BKFC, the Bare Knuckles Fighting Championship. It wasn't because of the punch. It was because when dude got knocked out, he landed on he's like 200 plus pounds, and when he was falling on his knockout, he landed like on his head, and that 200 plus pounds momentum and impact and inertia, you could see kind of jerked his spine, and I guess from what doctors are saying is that guy died in the hospital because when he fell on the mat, his spine broke, and also it broke his spinal cord. It got severed in the process, and that's how that man died. I mean, boxing is very dangerous. Any type of boxing or physical combat sports like UFC, BKFC, and boxing. Shit's dangerous, and that's why we can't have PEDs. We can't accept that, and that's why in my eyes, Deontay Wilder is still the number one heavyweight champion of the entire world. I shout out to Bomb Squad, Deontay Wilder. If you ever see this man, you know I'm rocking with you. You know, people keep saying he ain't got no skill. How the man ain't got no skill when he's a professional? He's been doing this for so damn long. You can't tell me that man ain't got no skill. Um, but yeah, people got their own narratives, but this is my narrative. So if you fuck with MCTV, y'all know what to do. Like my video, subscribe, stay tuned. I decided to do a live because I got a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna keep on talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end this shit right here. Shout out to my people, shout out to my fans. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe. I got sick. That shit wasn't pretty. That shit was icky. And put your mask up. Don't be in people's faces if they sniffling and coughing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be touching doorknobs and handles and shit like that. Uh, have a good night. I'll be back at y'all with another one. How do you stop this? Let me see. Yeah, my bad for y'all that just tuned in. I'm already finishing this live. I'm having troubles trying to actually like load this up to YouTube because it's not giving me an option to say stop this chat. So I guess I might just keep on talking if y'all still watching. Um, Boxing needs to do better when it comes to fighter safety, their integrity, in doing what's fair and what's right. Because let's just be honest, life is just so short. Why even deal and bother with the fuckery? I'm gonna just have to make a new video. I gotta get out this shit somehow, y'all. How do I get out this baby? Should I press the X button or am I gonna lose my shit?
Maybe it's an expert. I might tell you that.
Okay, like I said, are you sure you want to stop streaming?